Hello, everyone. Welcome to um. Forgot the name of the podcast already. I changed it too much. Well, here we talk about the latest news on space. Um. So it's been a little while. So we're gonna go over just of this week. I'm gonna try and get back on the saddle of recording you guys daily podcast episodes. All right. So very first thing, SpaceX launches 23 satellites tonight on second half of Starlink doubleheader. A SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket is set to launch 23 Starlink internet satellites tonight, October 29th, on the second of of two planned missions for the day. A Falcon 9 rocket is scheduled to lift off from Florida's Cap Carville Space Force Station tonight at 7:45 p.m. EDT. If the Falcon 9 can't get off the ground, 7 backup opportunities are available from 8:17 p.m. EDT to 10:47 p.m. EDT on October 30th, according to SpaceX mission description. Maybe the internet will be slightly better. Space rocks and asteroid dust are pricey, but aren't the most expensive materials used in science. After a journey of 7 years and nearly 4 billion miles, NASA's Orbis X spacecraft landed gently in Utah desert on the morning of September 24th, 2023. With a precious payload, spacecraft brought back the sample from asteroid Beryl, roughly a pound of material collected from the 85 million ton asteroid, or 77.6 billion kilograms. This will help scientists learn about the formation of the solar system, including whether asteroids like Beryl include the chemical ingredients for life. NASA's mission was budgeted at 800 million and will end up costing around 1.6 billion for just under 9 ounces of sample. But is this the most expensive material known? Not even close. I'm a professor from astronomy. I use moon and Mars rocks in my teaching and have a modest collection of meteorites. I marvel at the fact that I can hold in my hand some that is billions of years old and billions of miles away. This was by Chris Impey. It was posted today a few hours ago. All right. The world's smallest particle accelerator is 54 million times smaller than the Large Hadron Collider. Scientists recently fired up the world's smallest particle accelerator for the first time. The tiny technological triumph, which is the size of a small coin, could open the door to a wide range of applications, including using the teensy particle accelerators inside human patients. The medicine known as Nanopriodic Electron Accelerator (NEA) consists of a small microchip that houses an even smaller vacuum tube made up of thousands of individual pillars. Researchers can accelerate electrons by firing mini laser beams at these pillars. The main accelerator tube is approximately 0.02 inches or 0.5 millimeters long, which is 54 million times shorter than the 16.8-mile long or 27-kilometer ring that makes up the Large Hydrogen Collider found in Switzerland. The world's largest and most powerful particle accelerator, which has discovered a range of new particles, including Higgs boson, or God particle, ghostly the charm meson, and the mysterious X particle. The inside of the tiny tube is around 225 nanometers wide. For context, human hairs are 80,000 to 100,000 nanometers thick. According to the National Nanotechnology Institute, whew, that was a mouthful, and I read on a different website that they're going to try and use it to help cancer patients, which I find that will be very useful for everyone. All right. All right. So to the next one, NASA rocket to NASA rocket to study star forming supernova remnants on October 29th. This weekend, a NASA rocket will study a dynamic stellar event about 2,600 light years from Earth in the collision Cygnus. In that pocket of the universe, a once massive star, perhaps 20 times bigger the size of our sun, exploded in a brilliant supernova that would have been bright enough for those on Earth to see with unaided eye, even during the day. Although the blast occurred some 20,000 years ago, star matter ejected during the explosion is still fanning out at 930,000 miles or 1.5 million kilometers every hour. It spanned three times the size of a moon back in 2012 and is now to be thought to be 120 light years across. The remnant, known to astronomers as the Cygnus Loop, is quite a rare find as it reflects an ongoing supernova blast and is showing us in real time how heavy elements that were formed in late star hearts are returned back into the universe, where the next generation of stars and galaxies will inherit them and manifest across eons. Well, that's going to be quite useful. All right. Moving on to the next one, the UK Space Agency signs deal with Axon Space for human space flight missions. The UK Space Agency and Houston company Airtron Space have inked a deal to pursue a economically sponsored mission that could send four UK astronauts to orbit. No timeline for the proposal flight has been announced. The UK astronauts would spend up to 2 weeks in orbit, carry out scientific research, and demonstrate new technologies and participate in education and outreach activities, according to an October 27th UK Space Agency statement. All right, well, that is some interesting news. I'm going to read one more article and then I am going to end this episode. powerful new radio telescope could unmask the ancient universe. When completed, the square kilometer array observatory will be the world's most sensitive and most powerful radio telescope. That is, if SpaceX Starlink satellites don't ruin its view. Private companies have begun launching scores of collisions of communication satellites in low and medium Earth orbit, with the stated goal of blanketing the globe in high speed internet access, real time surface monitoring, and more. Leading to leading the charge is SpaceX, which has so far sent more than 4,600 of its Starlink satellites into space, and has plans to have as many as 42,000 in orbit in the coming decade. Other companies like Amazon plan to follow the collisions of their own, and while the global high speed internet access is undeniably good, these collisions do have repercussions for astronomy. Astronomers around the world have already warned that Starlink is beginning to spoil the ground base's observations, and that the reflections from all of the satellites will cause our nighttime skies to brighten across the world. Well, this is one of the things we've got to wonder. Do we want to continue to learn about space and the universe, or do we really want that fast of internet? And I could tell you, unfortunately, 99% of people are going to say, give us more internet. Well, I hope that you all have enjoyed listening to this a podcast episode. Make sure to follow it so you know when the next episode comes. I will see you all next time. Bye bye.